Hi guys, sorry about that. My laptop just had a stroke, but we'll go back. My accommodation side of ADHD in the workplace was done, so now we're just going straight on to the strategies. This is just a bunch of stuff. I did listened to a bunch of webinars, wrote a bunch of stuff down. Some of the stuff I do. This is some of my wooey wishy intention setting stuff that I also believe in. So take it with a grain of salt. If anything resonates with you, write it down, maybe try it out. So, the biggest strategy that you can have is to build habits, to be healthy. I know that's so much easier said than done. There's actually science behind as to why ADHD people struggle to build habits. But this is not about building habits and like building a routine. It's about building habits and building a routine to be healthy. A stressed out brain does not have enough counter space to engage in executive functioning. So if we're not taking care of our bodies and our brains, there's no room left up there to be able to executive function in our everyday lives. So we need to prioritize sleep, nutrition, hydration, exercise. And when I say exercise, I don't mean like go lift weights. I'm like, go for a walk. This stuff all helps us be the best executive functioners we can be. It's not a joke and no trick that people say exercise and eating healthy is the best thing you can do for yourself. I only started prioritizing this stuff probably a year and a half ago, and I wish I prioritized it a heck of a longer than that. It's so true. So, a nice little trick to build habits is habit stacking. This was so fun to learn about. So, habit stacking is when you stack a habit on top of a habit that you already do. And the funnest thing is the habit doesn't even have to be healthy. So, if you go for a cigarette every morning, just pop a habit on top of that. We're going to drink one big glass of water before we go for a cigarette. If you, I don't know what it says, 40 to 60% of what we do every day is habitual. Let's make that work for us. So we know we brush our teeth every morning. I hope you do. I'm going to brush my teeth. Then let's stack another thing on top of that. What's something we can stack on top of brushing our teeth? I don't know. My brain's not working right now, but you get the gist. If you do something every single day, just put something right before it or right after it, and that would be able to effectively allow you to build effective habits. Intention setting. So, intention setting it can look a lot of different things. It can be writing it down. It can be saying it out loud. It could be saying it in your head. It creates a sense of direction and purpose instead of relying on motivation or external pressure. So, some examples. I should try to be more organized. I need to be more organized. I need to be motivated to get more organized. Change that to I am a person who writes things down to stay on track. That is an intention, and it's changing your purpose of what you need to do. It's putting the onus on yourself. I need to exercise more. I take care of my body by moving every day. That is an intention that you are setting for yourself. This looks like in so many different ways too. Like intentions are so important. Just outside of ADHD, I set intentions before I go into a room full of people because I haven't always had the best track record sometimes of going into a room full of people and not embarrassing myself with something I say. So I go in and I set an intention before I go in. My intention right now is to be kind. And it depends. Like if it's at work, my intention is to do something else. But if I'm just going in and meeting new people, my intention is to be kind. And guess what? You go in and you just focus on kindness. And if you're doing that for your body or for anything else you're doing, it makes a difference. It truly does. So another strategy is to externalize key information. So anything you get, write it down. Write it on a sticky note. Write it on the notes in your phone. Get an organization app. Take photos and learn how to search your photos. Like if you're getting things, just write it down, take a photo of it. You can search on your photos app any word on there and it will come right up. Search for words in text. I do this all the time for addresses. Like I just go in my text. I'm like, ugh. I write in the word address, and every single time I texted out an address that I said address, it just pops up. And I'm like, this is perfect. Take videos. Text yourself. Use a planner or a notebook. So this was a cute little strategy. Set alarm for check-ins. So check your notes messages every 2 hours and send text to yourself. So text yourself, oh, I need to pick up the dog after work. I need to pick up my kid after work because you know you're going to forget. And then set pre-alarms that go off every like 4 hours and say, oh, remember to check your text messages. It's a good one. Talking to yourself. So talk through tasks as if explaining them to a friend. You can use a pretend microphone to process out loud. I notice when you like externalize something, it just makes more sense. Do boring better. Make boring tasks less painful. So anytime you don't want to do anything, how can I make this better for myself? Make a playlist. Use pleasant scents. Hang up rewards for yourself. Write down your why. Why are you doing this? Why is this important? Write it down. I know some people have shows that they watch and they only allow themselves to watch it when they're on the treadmill or when they're on a walk with podcasts. I know listening to podcasts and going for a walk, if I don't have a podcast to listen to, I ain't going for a walk. Break big projects into smaller steps and set mini deadlines. Something that my therapist told me when I was starting school, post-secondary, after my diagnosis, and I was really nervous to do good. She said that plan out your work times and don't make them too long, and then have guilt-free breaks. So I know this is kind of, I didn't put this on here, but I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. If you planning guilt-free breaks for things and then set mini deadlines for your productivity hours, that was actually very helpful for me. Guilt-free breaks. Write that one down. Use timers for short sprints of focus. This is called the Pomodoro method. Plan proactive breaks and know why you're taking them. Proactive breaks are guilt-free breaks, and they're so important. So mindfulness. I just put mindfulness because this could go for a couple different things. So visualization. This is something that I have never tried, but I probably should. Visualize yourself finishing the task. Visualize yourself doing the task. I'm going to try this one and I'm going to get back to you guys and let you know if it works for me. It sounds like it sounds crazy, right? But I think this is going to work for me. Smell the imaginary roses proactively. So seek out the things that are making you happy throughout your day and give yourself those little bursts of dopamine throughout your day that keep you going. Strategize stimulus seeking. So what I mean by this is to plan times where you are going to seek out sensory needs. So if you're someone that knows you get bored sitting down, or if you're someone that needs to squish things, you need to have a fidget, or if you're somewhere where you just know you need a break, you need to go outside, strategize it. Plan out and don't wait for those things for yourself that you need those things. Strategize it, plan for it. A thought parking lot. So this is for people that you have those thoughts. You might have to interrupt the person you're speaking with. I'm sorry, I got to get this out right now because I'm going to forget about it. Have a thought parking lot on your phone, and this works for emotions too, and come back to them later. So if it's like in work and you're like, oh, or with a friend, sorry, I need to interrupt you to say this thought because I'm going to forget about it. Just write it down super quick on your phone. With emotions, if you're having big emotions for something and you can't move past it, try externalizing it. Try writing down on your phone, this is what I'm feeling, this is why, and then come back to it later. And going back to it later, very, very important. to be able to process those emotions, because we don't want to push them away, but sometimes we need to move on with the day. So here's some other strategies. Have an accountability buddy. So just text someone, hey, I need to be held accountable for this. Will you help me with that? Leverage deadline stress. So this is a good one in terms of if you have a lot to do and you're just constantly stressed about it the whole time, why don't you set your time for when you're going to be productive around the deadline? So if you know you have something, a big presentation due Friday night, don't stress about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh my God, I haven't done anything. I'm so lazy. I'm the worst person ever. And then do it all on Friday night. You know you're going to do it all Friday night. You know you're going to do that. So just set yourself up enough time to be able to do it in your one go, and then have Monday, Thursday to be stress-free and worry about other things. Flexible seating options. This is always just good for focus and, a little bit of movement. I don't know. I'm always sitting I got in trouble at my practicum once because they told me that I sit super unprofessionally. That's my ADHD. So sorry, but if you made me sit like this all the time at work, I would never come. I would never go. I would quit. So try and find some flexible seating options for wherever you are. And then fidgets to stay engaged, active and engaged. I use them a lot of time at my practicum, not because I have them, but because a girl that works there has them, and I always ask to borrow them. Or even when I say fidgets, even having snacks tucked away somewhere, anything to kind of strategize all those things that you're going to be needing. I do want to go back to the beginning here for a second because I feel like I missed something. When we're talking about being healthy, this is just something that I found out in my personal life. Avoiding toxins is so important. That's just obviously everyone talks about avoiding toxins, alcohol, nicotine, whatever, and anything your body perceives as an energy is not going to help you. But some people have food intolerances, and they might be making your symptoms a lot worse. For me, I cut out gluten, and my brain fog and my energy and all of my symptoms and my stress levels, they got immensely better. So I'm not saying to cut out gluten. I'm just saying to be aware of what you're putting into your body and maybe try some different things out, and I don't know, be mindful of how your body is reacting to certain things that you give to it. Just something I wanted to throw in there. I'm just going down to make sure I didn't forget anything. Nope, that's all. Okay. I have this. Some people with ADHD. I thought it was fun to throw this on there just to show you guys people with ADHD are successful, and they can be successful. And if we want to be, and we strategize and think about our lives and are healthy, we will take over the world because we think differently than everybody. And we are the most creative people. So if you find how your ADHD works for you, look out. Okay. I don't have any discussion questions this week because I felt like last week's were quite a bit. And I still have some friends that haven't said anything. If you don't want to answer the questions, you totally don't have to. Feel free not to. But if you needed more time, that's why. I feel like we can have a little break from talking about questions on the Discord, and then next week, we're going to be talking about diagnosis and liberation and ADHD as a superpower and the importance of self-care. I touched on a little bit of building habits to being healthy. This is kind of more self-care, not as, hey, take a break and put your feet up. It's more of self-care of parenting yourself, which is something I think we all struggle with a little bit. Okay, I hope everyone has a great week. Like I said, no discussion questions this week. Thanks, guys.